Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present about the trend and future pricing of our selected company. This is our selected company option, which is Axiata Group Berhad. This firm was within communication and media sector. Currently, this firm was managed by Dato' Izzaddin Idris, as CEO of the company. Axiata provide range of goods and services, which includes digital telecom, digital business and infrastructure. Axiata is a leading regional telecommunication group with a footprint spanning 11 countries in ASEAN and South Asia. Their diverse and purpose-driven talent base of more than 12,600 employees service the needs of more than 157 million customers.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shaira. So the first one we are going to discuss about the short-term analysis. So based on the support line and trend line plot on daily short-term of Axiata's chart, we can see few trend line involved in this chart. The first one is the downtrend starting on 22nd April until 17 June. Downtrend occurs when the market moves in a downward direction and is often marked by lower highs and lower lows. However, recently on 21st June, future price trend may increase. This is because based on the support line 3, it shows that the trend started to increase due to it does not touch support line 3, which is where a lower price change and suggests higher price come in the future. So next is moving average indicator. Here it shows a reversal trend line on 17 June. We can see that the stock price already reversed from downtrend to uptrend at price 2 ringgit 70 cents. From the chart above also, we can see that the Bollinger Bands show signal of buy entry when the price hits below the lower band on 9 June. This shows a sign of oversell as a low volatility may result in a rise in a stock price. Traders can sell the stock every time the price hits the upper band, as high volatility will result in the price falling drastically. So next, for the ROC indicator, we can see that the ROC shows an uptrend signal. This can be seen on 16 June, where the ROC indicator shows rising momentum from below. If the price is below zero, we are advised to buy the stock. Hence, the traders are advised to buy when the ROC line crosses the zero line from below.
Hi, I'm Aisha and I'm going to continue this presentation. So this is the relative strength index RSI. On May 2022, the RSI touched 30% line and it falls below 30% on the next June. As it enters the oscillator zone, it is a good time to buy. Unfortunately, the result is uncertain. Next, for the moving average convergence divergence MACD, on May 2022, the MACD line crosses over MACD signal, which is a sign of purchase. But on June, the MACD line falls below the MACD signal. The latest trend line shows that the trend may increase as it started to converge towards signal line. Lastly, for the stochastic chart, Axiata chart generates fewer buy and sell signal. It shows downtrend and falls below 20% since April 2022. When the K line crosses over the D line, it shows a strong buy signal. So these are the two candlestick pattern I found, which are bearish harami and bearish engulfing pattern.
So now is the recommendation and the prediction of future price trend. As for the time being, it is better for investors to hold the stock first because the price may increase even more in the future, but we must wait the trend to test and confirm first. Hence, the future price trend range is between 2 ringgit 70 cents to 2 ringgit and 80 cents.
Now we move to intermediate trend. As you can see, the trend for intermediate chart shows some downward trend on 4 April 2020 until now. From the chart, we can see that the chart is below moving average on 11 April 2022 and continuing. Thus, there is no best buying signal as it shows the chart is below the moving average. Now I will go to the next indicator, which is Bollinger Band. In Bollinger Band, there is an envelope. It can act as a resistance and support. The greater the price volatile, the wider the band. We can see clearly for the current trend that the chart has volatile support in envelope area. As a result, the trend moved downward. ROC is also used to determine the momentum. Using the rate of change indicator, it was determined that the trend for Axiata is bearish since in April and until now, June 2022. When ROC indicator is below its center and dropping, the price is below its previous level and difference is expanding. Clearly, there is now no indication that the chart will increase soon since the ROC keep downward since 4 April 2022.
Next, for the moving average convergence divergence MACD, explanation moving average EMA, from the 1 week trend line chart for Azeta, we can observe that the EMA has not collided with the signal line since October 2021, and the trend has continued to extend in a negative direction since 60 June 2022. Therefore, there is no good signal to purchase Azeta stock as the EMA remains below the signal. Next, in June 2022, the relative strength index RSI is less than 30%. Then, it is to imply it was oversold. Typically, if a security is oversold, there is a buy signal, although this depends on the trend. Currently, our trend is downward, therefore, it may trade oversold for some time. Traders may delay purchases until they see further indicators. For last indicator, as we can see in the stochastic indicators of Azeta, started on April 2022, the reading is below 20, automatically considered as oversold. The percent K crosses above the percent D in an oversold region will give a trader a buy signal, but it also depends on the chart itself. Lastly, for candlestick pattern, on the 1 week trend chart, there are two distinct candlestick pattern or types. First is the hammer that occurred on October 19, 2020 and December 20, 2021. The second is bearish harami. It is occurred on 3 January 2021. By the support line, indicator and pattern, we would not recommend the investor to buy the stock, thus we would go for hold. For recommendation part for intermediate chart, as from what we can see from the charts keep downward since 4 April 2022. We would recommend for the investor to hold until the trend test. As for the future price, by using all of the indicators and fundamental, we may assess after the test, the future price may be increased from RM2.73 to RM2.925. It also may decrease down than the support line 2 if the trend violates support line 2, and the price may decrease from RM2.73 to RM2.55.
The trend for long-term chart is sideways from 3 January 2022 until now. The moving average indicator for long-term chart is downward trend started on 1 April 2022. It would be seen as a sign of decline for Axiata. We can see that the chart is below support on 1 June and will continuing. Thus, there is no best buying signal as it shows the chart is below the moving average. Next, in Bollinger Band, there is envelopes. It can act as a resistance and support. We can see clearly for the current trend that the chart of Axiata has falls below the lower band and the security is in a potential downtrend. Using the ROC indicator, it was determined that the trend for Axiata is bearish since in April and until now June 2022. When ROC is below zero line but falling, it shows that downtrend is increasing its speed. Clearly, there is now no indication that the chart will increase soon since the ROC keep downward since 1 April 2022.
Hello, I'm Wan Nusna and I will continue this presentation. Here, this is the relative strength index chart. From March until June 2022, the RSI is below 70 and above 30. As we can see more accurately, the RSI line at below 50, so we can consider the oscillator momentum is not in a good condition. The following chart here, during the downtrend, the RSI peaked near the 50% level rather than 70%, which could be used by investors to more reliably signal bearish condition. Next, for moving average conversion divergence, the chart show on January 2022 the price declined at RM3.49 and the MACD line crosses below the signal line, whereas this is a bearish indication that it could be the best time to sell. As we can see, the MACD line still produce a negative signal when the remain cross below the signal line, indicates the price expected to have downward momentum. Lastly, for the long-term chart trend, as we can see in the stochastic charts of Axiata, on April until May 2022, the reading is below 20, so automatically is considered as oversold. When K line crosses above the D line in oversold region, this is a buy signal. On the 1-month trend chart, as we can see, there are 3 patterns of candlestick which are engulfing bearish, hanging man, and dragonfly doji.
In this long-term trend, we are recommended investors to sell, and the potential price is dropped from RM1.50 to RM2.70.
In conclusion, we do not advise investors to buy Axiata stocks because in 3 of the terms, utilizing all 6 indicators on the short-term, intermediate term, and long-term charts, all of them provide a pure signal to buy the stock. Therefore, we do not recommend investors make the investment. That's all from us. Thank you.